Okay, today we're going to have a quick studio tour. So starting here, we have the Sequential Circuits Prophet 6 analog poly, very 80s sounding, absolutely fantastic bit of kit. And then moving down towards the other part of the analog section, we've got the Moog Sub Fatty. Absolutely sounds brilliant. Big on bass, big leads, amazing sounding filters. You can't beat it. Both of them work together as a pair really well, really well. So moving round, a couple of chord books there. iPad. Oh, the chord wheel. That's a great book. Really helpful. You know, you can actually use this bit here to to transpose and to find where to change key and things like that. Or if you're into things like modulating your chords and stuff, then this book can be pretty useful. I highly recommend one. Here we've got various preamps. So I used to use that one for bass guitar, but it also has other purposes. You can stick a microphone in there, or anything you want really. This one, that's a guitar valve amplifier, and it sounds awesome. Why bother buying yourself a big guitar amp when you can just use something little like this that plugs straight into your mixing desk, and it even has a USB output and it can capture audio that way. So yeah, nice bit of kit. And there's another preamp, the Electro Harmonics Battalion. I use that specifically for the bass guitar. Nice bit of kit, sounds really good. Then over here we've got an Allen and Heath QU16. It's a digital mixer. It's one of those fancy mixers where all the sliders move themselves. But yeah, we've got 16 channels, or 8 stereo channels of audio, plus 3 more stereo auxiliaries. Inputs on the back are on the normal line-in jacks or XLR, and it also doubles up as a 22 in, 22 out audio interface. So that's my workhorse. This thing, absolutely brilliant bit of kit. It's the best sound card I've ever owned. We're moving on here. There's a Yamaha HS5. Then there's my sound card, which I still use. It's the Focusrite Sapphire Pro 24 DSP. It's served me well for about 8 years. And yeah, I highly recommend one. Sony MDR 7506s. They're pretty much the studio standard headphones for like the last 25 years, and they're still going strong, and they still sound awesome. Again, highly recommended. Moving down, got a Waldorf Micro Q, an amazing synthesizer. I'd say more geared towards techno but still finds a use in other applications. There we have a Behringer Patch Bay. I don't need to explain what that is. And there is a Yamaha EX5. Absolutely amazing synth. Very powerful. It's actually 4 synths in the one box. Good multi-purpose synth. And it's also a very unique type of synth in that you can craft different types of voices using different methods. Extremely powerful. I've barely, tinkered with under the hood. There's a lot going on, but maybe one day I'll find the time to program some of my own patches. Here we have the Yamaha DX. It's a sort of modern interpretation of classic FM. It sounds really good. Contrary to what all the critics have said about it, it actually is a really good 4-op FM synth. The sound is genuine. Here we have a Strymon Ola, which is one of the best chorus pedals that I've ever heard. It just sounds awesome. I mainly use that with the Prophet. You can get very Juno type sounds out of this when you use it with that. So moving on, down here is my PC. That's where all the magic happens. And of course spare wires and stuff. I back up quite a lot on hard drives, so you have to sometimes. So moving on, we've got a little Mackie 14 channel analog mixer in there, and you ask, why do I have an analog mixer when I've got a big digital mixer? Well, the purpose of this mixer is that it acts as an external mixer and effects router for my drum machines. I got the new Roland TR-8S simply because it has loads and loads and loads of separate outputs, as you can see, and you can guess where they go. They all go into the little mixing desk, where you can treat everyone with EQ, panning, the old school way. Plus this mixer has got 2 send return loops, which will go to these 2 effects processors. The TC Electronic, good multi-effects, and the Lexicon is a reverb processor. I also have the first 2 channels, kick, snare, hooked up to this Alesis compressor here. Now if I pull this back a bit, you'll see I've got a little Yamaha R100, which is another reverb processor. Very cheap and nasty and very 80s, but that's why it sounds good. Down there is an Akai S3000XL, which again goes into that little mixer and delivers drums more than anything else. So yeah, that's the drum rack. And if we go back over here again, we've got the Roland D05, which is basically a D50. One of the best keyboards to ever come out of the 1980s. This sounds identical to it, and it's something that I will be using. So I'll just pop that back in there again. What was that? Monitor, obviously, and the other type of monitor. So there's the studio. There is where all the magic happens. I actually used to have a lot more kit than this. Much more kit than this. This isn't even a quarter of what I used to own. But I've downsized over the years because I find that if you have too much equipment, you very seldom use it. It zaps your creativity. Less is more. And rounding off, here is the guitar section. It's a Epiphone Wildcat. And here we have a good old Fender P-Bass. You can't beat it. Simplicity at its best. So there you go. That concludes the studio tour. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.